Did you see that smoke? This is our subscriber's van, and it is bound to go to the scrapyard. Let me show you why. The customer told us that it doesn't accelerate, it's all whistle when he goes uphill, and it smokes a lot. What could that be? Oh my god! Did you see that smoke? So when we're trying to find out what's wrong with the vehicle, we first have to plug it into the diagnostic just to see if there is any fault codes that is stored. So if you guys have any guesses, put it down in the comment section below before we even start the diagnostic. So let's go and plug it in and find out what's wrong with this vehicle. But yeah, moisture in a vehicle is never good because it could actually ruin your documents. So we're just gonna plug the OBD, stands for onboard diagnostic. I'm gonna plug that in. We'll find right, already I can see 4 fault codes on the ECU. So as you can see, there are 2 fault codes that we're mostly worried about, which is P010162, P226300. So those 2 are related to the boost of the turbo, which is basically saying that it's deviating from the specified value. So for example, if you're going uphill, it should be a boost pressure of, I'm just making this up, 2.3 bar, but the ECU is only reading maybe 2 bar, 1.8 bar, whatever. So what we're gonna first try and do is to find out if there is any leak, air leak on the system. So that's your intercooler, your intake pipe, all the way to the intake manifold, just to make sure that everything is okay on that point. A turbocharged engine uses the exhaust gases to spin this impeller here. The same impeller is connected to another impeller on the intake side of the turbocharger. This cold side impeller sucks air and pushes it along these pipes. By pushing more air into the engine, the computer can add more fuel because there's more oxygen, which means a bigger controlled explosion. This means the engine can produce more Now, if any of these pipes are leaking air out, the engine control unit will notice this because the specified value will be different from the actual value, which will trigger the fault codes I showed earlier. These codes will make the vehicle go into limp mode to protect the vehicle from overfueling. What we're going to be doing is we're going to basically we're going to put a smoke machine in the intake system just to find out, like what I said, if there is any leak in the system. If you can see smoke escaping from one of the pipes, then that tells us that there's leak in the system, and it could be a simple repair. And to do that, we just have to remove basically the one that you can access the most, or the very beginning of the intake air system, which is just off the air box here on this Mercedes Benz Sprinter. What we're going to do is we will be pressurizing the system and at the same time adding smoke into it. What this will do is it will expose cracks and gaps in the turbocharging system. If there's any cracks or gaps, that's where the smoke will be escaping from, showing us the reason for the fault codes mentioned earlier. And to put the smoke in, obviously we need to seal this as well, and what we're going to do is we're going to plunk that in there. Hopefully it's enough, hopefully it gets big enough, and we're just going to pump this until it's fully sealed.
What's your blood pressure?
Yeah, this van is getting my blood pressure really high right now. There you go, and as you can see, that is now fully locked and secured. Right, so we're gonna turn this on and make sure before we put it in this that there is enough smoke. There you go. So what this does is basically it puts air in the system and it pressurizes it at the same time as well. So we will be able to see if there is any leak on the intercooler, on any of the boost pipes, for example, on the throttle body, and also in the intake manifold, which is located right over here. At the moment I don't see anything, Jay. Right, whilst that's pressurizing, I can already see smoke right over there. Whilst that's pressurizing, look at this, look at the turbo. All the smoke, I mean not the smoke, the soot. Look at it, it's coming from this. Oh my god, bro, what is that? It's coming from the solenoid, bro. What the hell is that? Look at that.
That's why it's not pressurizing. That's why it's not pressurizing, mate. Taps broke.
Okay, so issue number 1 is this.
That's for his...
what's it called, the rocker cover, where you fill the oil basically. So I'm gonna block that. That's probably what's that pressurizing. We've got no pressure. That is obviously letting unwanted air or unmeasured air into the system. So I'm just gonna plug it for a moment and find out if there is anything else in the system except for that one. I can hear a hissing noise.
Hey look, I can see that. It's coming from this side though.
Coming from everywhere, bro. Look. Hello? Hello?
Oh yeah. Where's that coming from? How does it move?
It's coming from the turbo itself, I think. So we can't really find any leaks except for the one at the top. Anything that is related to the turbocharging system. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to check if the turbo has got a play in it, the shaft, if it's playing or not. If it is, then that means that that turbo has gone bad and it's not producing enough boost that is required to basically push this vehicle up the hill. So let's go and have a look. This injector is leaking.
Oh dear. I can tell that the injector is leaking because it's covered in wet soot, if that's even what you want to call it. There's loads of like oily stuff, gunk all around.
We ingest them. But then again, it's a question of, is it because this has been disconnected and it's just been spilling oil basically?
Who knows?
If one of the cylinders ain't getting enough pressure in them, ain't getting enough boost because it's just leaking out from the top, then it would also throw an under boost code. I don't know where to begin, bro. I don't know where to start. Let's check the turbo anyway to see if there's a lot of play on it. If there is, then you said he replaced the lap when? Yeah, to be fair, he did say, the subscriber said that he's replaced the turbo on his own not long ago, probably like a month or two ago, he said, right? I can't remember, but it's somewhere there anyway. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over and check his work and also check the state of the turbo, because the turbo is a brand new second-hand turbo. I think that the turbo is perished. It came from a scrapyard and I think that it's no good. But we are guessing at the moment, so let's go and find out. Really, in all of our videos, it's John that does the work, not me. Really. Really and truly. I've done it. Alright, let's stick a finger in there. Oh my days, bro, that's seized. You see? That's seized. That is tough, bro. Tough, bro. How tough is that to spin? I can't tell with these gloves in them. Alright, take it off then. That's tough, innit? Me and John, we found that the impeller of the turbo is very, very stiff. An impeller is what drives the air into the system, into the intake system, and that's what creates boost, the extra air that the engine needs to produce extra power so you can put more fuel in, basically. But anyway, going back to it, if the impeller is having a difficult time to spin, it is likely that the shaft in the turbocharger is starting to seize or is probably seized. And obviously, if it's struggling to spin, it is likely that the turbo is not producing enough boost, and that is why he's going into limp mode. What we'll do is we're going to remove the turbocharger, and then we will show you the state of it and show you how hard it is to spin the impeller. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the new one to this one. This is going to be a long one. Let's go.
To get the turbocharger out, we have to remove a lot of brackets and bolts, starting from the C-clamp holding the DPF and the turbocharger together. After that, we can remove the bolts holding the turbo onto the exhaust manifold, followed by undoing the feed pipe from the engine block. From underneath, there are some holding brackets that support the turbo that we also had to undo along with the return pipe. Once that's all off, the turbocharger can finally come out.
Oh yeah.
Twin turbine.
Twin turbo. Right, okay. Is that what they call a compound? Very nice. Very, very nice.
Are you guys ready to see this? Look at the turbo on this. Yeah. That's me trying to spin it. It's tough on us, look. Tough on us. Yeah, it just doesn't want to spin. Can you see it? It does want to spin, but it's very, very tight. Let's have a look at the exhaust side. It does move, but like what I said, it's tough. Look.
it doesn't even want to spin freely. It is very tough. There's a reason as to why that might be happening. It's possible that the shaft, like what I said earlier, is starting to seize up. It could be because of oil starvation, or it could be that it's because the vehicle hasn't been serviced, or the oil feed is blocked, or the oil return is blocked. So we're going to inspect that, and we're going to see if there's a free flow on all of those pipes, just to make sure there's getting enough lubrication. Right, so we've also got the smoke machine yet again. What we're going to do, or try to do anyway, is to put smoke through this and see if there's any sort of pressure, and also we're going to see if the smoke is going through the pipe. As you can see here, I'm going to block the pipe. You will see the pressure there. You can see that changer, right? If there's any sort of pressure on this pipe, if it needs to build up any pressure on this, it tells me that it's kind of blocked. But if it stays at zero, then that means we've got no pressure in there. So let's do that. Right. So here, Jay. So we've got smoke. Put it in there. So that's for the first one. This is for the smaller turbo, and as you can see, there is nothing there. And if I was to block this, still no pressure, which tells me that that is free flowing. Here is the return pipe. This is the next one that we're going to check and see if it's free flowing or not. So let's go and have a look. Right, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to block it here, and then you should be able to see that? The pressure is climbing, but as soon as I let go of this, if there's smoke and the pressure lets go, then we're good. There you go. That's good for me. This one, you can see straight away. Look, I can block it, pressure will build up. And look. So that tells me we are good on that side. But this oil, on the other hand, it looks like it's not been replaced for the longest time. It is very thick, very black, so we're going to advise him to do a service on this vehicle as well. Let's go and put the new turbo in.
Buying a second-hand turbocharger or any part in this matter is not a wise decision. Second-hand parts can originate from neglected cars, which will likely cause the part to fail prematurely once installed in your vehicle. Furthermore, as the saying goes, buy cheap, buy twice. So take your time and consider the consequences before visiting your local scrapyard. If you're looking for a more affordable option, you can always consider purchasing remanufactured parts from reputable manufacturers like Avocel. These parts are made using brand new genuine components, ensuring that the quality is comparable to that of OEM parts.
See how it spins? It stays spinning. And then, if you look at the new one, look at my face. Damn, that's gruff right there. Look, let me show you the old one. Don't know how well you guys can see it, but look. That is tough. It's almost like there's like a Loctite in there or something that just doesn't want to spin. And I think that's the reason for all the soot that's coming here, because what's that called? The impeller inside cannot spin freely, and it's just letting exhaust gases in between here. It's not letting the exhaust gases, oh my god. It's not letting the exhaust gases to come out properly through the exhaust. So instead, it's just coming through here. Yeah, it just starts sipping out in between, and that's why it's full of soot. And as always, of course, this turbo is from Avocel. You can check them out. They are proper good stuff. They're really good. Like the turbo, you can tell it's professionally done. Look at it. It's nice and clean. It's not like one of those, they just painted it to make it look new type of thing. Everything about it just looks so lovely. But yeah, shout out to Avocel. Obviously, we've purchased this. It's not sponsored, but I just trust their brand. This is still very expensive turbo. So yeah, shout out to them. I trust this brand. So yeah, go check them out if you need a new turbo. Obviously not custom ones, but you know, just normal one. Anyway.
Installing the turbocharger is a little bit more challenging, as we had to line it up carefully with the bracket bolt holes. In addition to that, the oil feed and return pipes are fragile, so we had to be extra careful not to bump or hit them on anything, as they could snap. Once everything is lined up, we can start bolting everything down, starting from the manifold to turbo bolts, followed by the exhaust clamp, and finally we can tighten down the rest of the brackets, then the oil feed and return pipe. And just like that, we've now installed this brand new turbo.
Yeah, that job wasn't too bad, was it, John? Look at John's face. It's a lot cleaner than mine. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. Well, it's probably because he replaced the turbo beforehand, but obviously it seems like he bought a bad second-hand turbo, and as you can see, it was seized. The new one isn't. It's just freely spinning. Now that obviously the turbo is in there now, the next thing that we've got to do is to put everything back on top. So Jay, thank you, mate. Did all the hard work. Even the face says so. Look how clean it is compared to mine.
All it is, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Marv is a klutz.
I'm a clutch, yeah, I know that. Just like that, John, is done. You forgot in the cover.
You can slip that one.
Huh?
You can slip that one.
Wait. You reckon you can slip it on, yeah? It took ages putting the top end as well.
No, this one won't go in. It's a virgin size, isn't it?
Is it? Is it? Go on. Go on. And again. Oh, slip it in then. Let's see. We are finished with this one. So all the top cover, and as you can see, we've got the shiny, just about, so yeah, shiny turbo under there. So what we're going to do next is we are going to crank the engine. Yes, we did prime the turbo already. There's already some oil in there just to make sure that it doesn't stop in the first startup. And as you know, if you start it and there's no oil in there, it spins fast enough, and those shafts, they can seize in place. So we don't want that to happen. So John, do you want to give it a little cranky?
What's in this?
Cheese.
What's the key?
Ah, you haven't connected the battery, have you?
Where's the key?
You haven't connected the battery. Yeah. Go on, Jay, start it up. Let's see if everything is good. Let's go. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Lovely. And you know what's good about that? Yeah? The smoke actually came out of the exhaust instead of it coming out from the top. Give it a good rev, please. Oh yeah. And again. Good. More. And it goes. And again. Okay, I want you to bounce on it. Jay, are you happy with that though? Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
I can't really test drive the vehicle because obviously the owner is not here. But I know that.
But we know smoothly.
But we know
it as well.
Yeah, you can hear the turbo now. Unlike earlier, there was no whistle to it. But yeah, man, that is one job done. So if you want to see more content like this, please make sure to click that subscribe button right there. And also, right, I want you guys to put it down in the comment section below what you'd like to see. Would you like to see more how-tos and how things work and stuff like that? Because it will help us out to create the right content for you guys, of course. So if you want to do that, that will be amazing. But for now, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Mission 2. We'll rate my stick.
Quickly, John, please.